I have struggled a lot with this fear or anxiety of approaching someone who I don't know yet, talking to them, or talking to a girl I like, or approaching them. In these situations, I always felt this anxiety creeping up on me. For example, there was one time at the beginning of a school year, it was the first week, and we were having math class, and of course, math class, first week we were already taking notes, we were already studying some math, because we're always behind on math class. And so, but I didn't take any notes, so I wanted to ask this girl behind me, so maybe I could take a picture of her notes. But then I started thinking, like, I don't even know her, we don't know each other, like, this might be weird, like, what should I say, what is she going to think about me, what will she say? And while I'm thinking there, full of anxiety, thinking what should I say, she's already packing her stuff up. So I'm thinking, oh shit, I gotta do something, she's going to leave, so okay, I'm going to ask her name first. No. I'm going to just simply ask the question. And while I'm there thinking all the time, what should I say, everything, she has already left. She packed her stuff and left. And then as I was walking home, like, I had this sense of regret just slapped me in the face. Like, why didn't I just approach her? Like, I regretted it so much. Now I don't have any notes. But it wasn't really about the notes. It was just that fear stopped me from talking to someone, which is just so natural. Like, we are human beings, we are supposed to communicate with each other. And I couldn't even ask someone a question. And almost all of the time, I regret not approaching to someone. Like, you can probably also relate to this. Maybe you been somewhere and you met with this amazing, beautiful looking girl, or you've seen her, and you had this like drive, or you wanted to approach her and talk to her, but you were too afraid. You were thinking too much, full of anxiety. You were keep procrastinating or keep pushing off talking to her and approaching her. And then the time was up, she was gone. I always regretted it, and you also probably always regret not taking that step, not approaching someone, or letting fear and anxiety stop you. I can't think of any time when fear stopping me from approaching someone was a good thing. I always regretted it. So the first step, before you approach someone and you have this anxiety, remind yourself that if you do not take action, if you don't approach her, you're going to regret it later. Remember all the times that you regretted not doing that thing. Like, remind yourself of these when you're trying to talk with someone new. And I guarantee you, this will help you a lot, knowing that if you don't do this, you'll regret it 100%. And also, you gotta realize, and you probably also know this, that it is the first few words, the moment when you walk up to him or her and like say hello or ask her name, that is the most difficult moment when approaching someone. It's not the actual conversation itself, that comes somewhat naturally, but it's the approach itself. It's when you first talk to that person. Like, that is the most difficult part. So what I advise you here is just count to 5 and then just go and walk up to him. Literally, that's it. I guarantee you that this will help you significantly. Just count in your head, just count to 5. And then without thinking, go up to that person and just start talking to her. Whatever comes to your mind. I guarantee you this will help you a lot. But where does this anxiety even come from? Well, I think that, for example, when you're in a room full of people, like these very anxious people usually go in there like already hunched over, not even looking into other people's eyes, because they think that the whole room is judging them. The way they look at it is, they see the room and other people as this scary monster that is judging every single thought, every single action that he is doing. It's like them versus the whole rest of the world. That's a pretty, like, you're against the odds there. Like, you're not going to win that battle if you think that way. So what do? They hunch over. They don't look in other people's eyes. They're like that because that is like the natural reaction. If you stand like this, it tells other people that you're no threat, to not care about, not care, that you're no threat to them, that you're not going to hurt them, that you're just there, and it's like you're playing dead, you're like this, not even looking into other people's eyes. In these moments, you gotta realize that the room is not judging you, everyone is not judging you, they don't care about you that much. You gotta stop getting so curled on in yourself that thinking that everyone is thinking about you. In these moments, you gotta realize that the room is not judging you. Probably no one is really judging you most of the time. Like, not everyone is looking at you thinking, what is that guy doing there? You gotta stop curling in on yourself and thinking that it's all about you and that everyone is focused on you. In these moments, you gotta open up your body, like get your chest out, shoulders back, and look in the eyes of the other person who you're talking with. Because in that way, the problem is, you see the other time that you're curled in on yourself. You're all here, thinking. What does he think? What does he think about me? Am I looking or am I sweating too much? Do I look good? It's all thinking. You gotta get out of there, and the best way to do that is to look directly in the other person's eyes. Make eye contact. Because that also just gets you out of your head. And you will also be able to tell what the other person is thinking and feeling. You get immediate feedback, and the other person will be able to trust you more. Because imagine if I'm talking to you like this, like hunched over, barely looking into your eyes, like this feels unnatural. So keep a open front of your body at all times, chest open, etc. And look them into their eyes. This way they know that you're paying attention. That is so important that others know that you're there. You're here in the present moment, you're not thinking about something else, you're there, you're paying attention. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is that some people think that they were like born with this social anxiety or something, that they just can't change, that they are like this, like this is just their nature, they are scared when they're around people. And I want you to get rid of this mindset. Just get rid of it completely, because that's not the way it is. Like, maybe there are some people who are like born more like that way, but everyone can change. Everyone can become and better at speaking and overcome this fear and anxiety. If you think that you can't, then you won't be able to. But it's this very simple change in mindset. That's it. Just thinking that you can. Having a confidence in yourself that, yeah, I can overcome this. Yeah, it will take some work. Yeah, it will be uncomfortable. Yeah, I will have to face my fears, but I can overcome this. Usually this is the first step. Acknowledging that it is possible. And yes, it is possible. I was also very scared. Really scared, actually. I was always like in the back, not talking with everyone. Had like one guy. I was never this talking guy, never. But I overcome it. If I could do it, there is no reason that you can't. It's all in here. All of it. It goes on here, whether or not you can approach someone or not. Because we are just thinking too much. We're thinking too much about the future. Oh, what will happen? What will she say? What blah 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 blah. We're thinking too much. Because to be honest right now, 99% of the things that we think will happen never happen. They never do. We suffer in imagination, as Seneca said that, I think, that we suffer in imagination more than in reality. Because we torture ourselves with these anxious thoughts. 99% of them won't happen. That worst case scenario that you think about, that you're worrying about so much, won't happen. I guarantee you that 99% of the time it won't happen. So we're suffering pointlessly in our minds, in our thoughts. Because we believe our thoughts, that's the problem. We believe that they are true. But let me ask you a question. Do you control your thoughts? Like, do you think about what your next thought will be? If I tell you to not think of a white elephant, do not think of a white elephant. Can you do that? You see, you don't have that much control over your thoughts. So you gotta realize that your thoughts is like this machine that just pumps out a bunch of trash. Maybe there are some good bits, but it's mostly just trash and it's just pumping it out. And you don't have to believe your thoughts. It is these thoughts that are stopping you. But you gotta realize that you are not your thoughts. Don't identify with your thoughts. You're also not your anxiety. You are not your emotions. You say that I am angry, but that's not true. Instead, say that I'm experiencing anger, or I'm aware of this anxiety in me, but you yourself are not anxious. Think of it as you being a mountain and seeing the thoughts and the emotions passing by clouds. You don't have to identify with them. You don't have to grab onto those clouds. Just let those clouds pass by, just observing them. Like, oh, there goes all my thoughts. Oh, there's anxiety. Oh, fear, anger. Just look at them that way. You don't have to identify with them. And this little space between you and what you think you are, what you identify with yourself with, will help you a lot. And also a very important thing that is that you won't get rid of anxiety. You won't get completely rid of it. You will still feel it. It's still going to be there. The only thing that is going to change is that you'll be able to learn to sit with it. And you will push through it. Even though you feel anxiety, you will push through that. But it won't disappear. Maybe after you have done it 1,000 times, maybe then it will disappear, I'm not sure. But the anxiety itself, it's still going to be there. You will just manage to sit with it and push through it. So don't think that one day you'll wake up and the anxiety will be gone and then you'll approach someone. No. You will just have to do it more often. And the more you do it, the more you push through that anxiety, the easier it is going to become. You also gotta realize that other people are anxious too. Like, they are not spending their time judging you and thinking about you, thinking, yeah, that guy is looking weird, what is he doing here? They are also thinking about themselves. They are way too preoccupied with themselves, how they look, how they act. They don't actually judge you and care about you. Even if you do something embarrassing or something like that, they will forget about that 10 minutes later. And to prove that, think back to the time when, in school, when everyone had to introduce themselves, say something about themselves. And you probably remember how stressful that was. Like, you had no idea what to say. And after some time, everyone said the same thing. Now think about that time. Like, do you remember how much you thought about what you would say? What are you going to say? What will others think about what you say? Well, let me ask you something. Do you actually remember what the other guy said there? Do you remember the other people's responses? No, right? Like, you don't remember any of that. They probably, a lot of them messed up, did some embarrassing thing, but you don't remember that. Why? Because you were obsessed with what you're going to say, with yourself. And they, the same way, they don't remember what you say because they are obsessed with themselves, with what they are going to say. Don't curl in on yourself, like too worried, full of anxiety of what will happen. Look other people in the eye, keep an open front of your body. People won't eat you up if you talk to them. Also, 99% of the time, they will be nice to you. Like 99% of the interactions that I had been nice. People have been kind. And also, if you do end up doing something embarrassing, so what? So what? Like, who really cares? Like, what does it really matter if what they think about you? Now, it's a slippery slope here, not caring what others think. Like, I think that it is important to care about what the people you are close to think about you. But that random person online or that random stranger on the street, what they will think about you, that does not matter. And you also gotta learn to laugh at yourself when you do something embarrassing and find humor in your anxiety. Like literally laugh at yourself when you're there standing there 5 minutes thinking about approaching that girl. Just have a good laugh at yourself and go and approach her. Like, you gotta find humor in this also and not take it too seriously. Because this is a very good thing to develop in your life. The skill to laugh at yourself, to laugh at your own mistakes. That helps a lot. That really does help a lot. To be able to, you're basically transcending the whole situation at that point. We're just laughing at it, finding humor in it. Now, if you have any questions, if you don't have any advice, I'm doing free one-on-one calls. You can send me an email. My email is in the description. We'll do a call. You can ask me anything you want. So I hope that you liked this video. I hope that it was valuable for you. I hope that you learned something from this video. So have a great day. Goodbye.